Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever you are watching, know that I appreciate you. It is Jay, and I'd like to welcome you to another day in the daily life of Jay. My allergies have been on 10 the last couple of days, so please forgive the nasally voice and the sniffling. Now, that's out the way. It is Friday, June 12th. Yeah, June 12th. And it is like 7:08, something like that. Yeah, 7:08 in the AM. June 12th, 2020. And as you can see, the sun is bright in the sky because it's shining down on this pretty brown face. It's been a little bit since I recorded because I just haven't felt like it. That's plain and simple. I just haven't felt like it. I haven't felt like much of anything lately. But I am pulling myself out of it. It's not necessarily well, maybe it is a little bit of a depression. I was going to say it's not necessarily a depression. It's more of a melancholy feel that has just kind of, overshadowed me, but I can call it what it really is. It really is a little bit of a depression. There's a lot going on, and there's a lot of pressure on me and a lot of weight on my shoulders. So I am trying to deal with it all, trying to handle it all. And I need to do that. I need to deal with it in my way. I need to handle it in my way. Whether that's taking a break from everything and only doing what's absolutely necessary, like going to work, or if that's getting therapy, which I'm going to start up again soon. You all know I believe in therapy. Even the therapist has to have therapy. Not that I am a therapist. I'm not a licensed therapist. I'm working my way towards it, though. I think it's going to happen soon. But okay, thank you, because you kind of jacked me up for a hot sec. Or if it's if it's throwing myself into doing something that I enjoy doing to take my mind off everything else, and sometimes that happens. I use all of those avenues, those ways to cope. Sometimes I take a step back, sometimes I do therapy, and sometimes I throw myself full on into something else. So but this time I chose to just take a step back and only do what's absolutely necessary. So that's what I've done. And now I am pulling myself back out of that feeling so that I can get back into the things that I need to do. And I pull myself out because I only allow myself a certain amount of time to be in the middle of that feeling. I won't ever say don't feel the feelings. You must feel the feelings. It is to your benefit to allow yourself to feel the feelings, but don't allow yourself to get so deep into them that you don't come out of them, that you have no way out, or you feel as if you have no way out. There's always a way out. But try to, as best you can, put a limit on it and then dig your way out. Sometimes that's what it is. You're digging your way out of it. So for me, I'm climbing my way out. I'm not digging because I didn't let myself get so deep, but I'm pulling two a day, so that I can get rid of the bulk of that, having that stuff, and just deal with the pictures themselves. I've gone through almost an entire tote. I've emptied a tote. I've got one album left to go through out of this tote. And if you remember, if you watched rather my previous video, I said that I had a good amount of totes filled with pictures, a good amount. And so I just emptied one, like I said, and I've got one album left to go through in that one, from that one tote. And thankfully I am able to separate them, the pictures. I'm not separating them by person right now, I'm just separating them by size. And that's easiest for me to do right now. Now, as I go further into this, get deeper into this, I'm going to separate them by person, because that's how I initially started, separating them by person, and then I realized that that's just going to take too much time. So I'm separating them by size right now, and then I'll separate by person. But I found some really great pictures. I mean, my mom literally, and I can't even say pictures, my mom literally kept, I won't say everything, but it feels like she kept everything in pictures, in photo albums. Like, I have found wedding invitations. I have found the napkins from the weddings, and the bookmarks that, you know, that the used to be given out at every wedding or reception. So I found all of those. I have found obituaries that she had in the photo albums. My mom and my grandmother both were big on keeping obituaries, and I have found that I do the same. But here's the thing. My grandmother would keep obituaries from just, I won't say random people, because they're not necessarily random, but these are people that, you know, she just happened to know. Like, it may have been a coworker that she never really even knew, you know, but she worked with them. But so because she worked with them, she went to their services and she got an obituary, and she kept the obituary. I keep the obituaries of family members and close friends. I mean, I have my boss's obituary, the owner of the company that I work for right now. I have his obituary. But those are the obituaries that I keep. Family members and close friends. My mom kept family members and close friends. My grandmother, like I said, it could be a family member, it could be a close friend, it could have been a coworker that, you know, she didn't necessarily work closely with, but I'm sorry, I feel like I got something dangling from my nose. But it could have been a coworker that she just, you know, they just happen to work for the same company. They just happen to work for the same company. They didn't really communicate with one another, only if they had to. And yeah. But I also found pictures from the various workplaces that my mom had. At one point, she worked for a ticket making factory. Back up some more. She worked for a ticket making factory. They made tickets for like racetracks and things like that. And it was right near where we used to live. Or where we lived at the time, rather. Oh, excuse me. Don't know where that came from. So she had pictures of a coworker from there who just happened to live. I think she actually lived in the same building. I don't remember, that we lived in when we lived in the Jets and the projects. She had pictures from She used to work at a bank in Chicago. All of these are in Chicago, of course. She used to work at a bank up north in Chicago, Northwest. So she had a lot of pictures of her coworkers from there. And she also used to work at a liquor store. It was a liquor store chain. And she and my grandfather both used to work for the liquor store. My grandfather was at one site, she was at another site. So she has a couple of pictures from the actual stores. But then she moved from the store to their wholesale warehouse. So she's got pictures from the warehouse. She's got at least one picture from when she was studying for her phlebotomy tech license. She's got a picture from a coworker there. She had her phlebotomy tech certificate, and her grades, and her resume, and a letter of recommendation, and she had all of that stuff in this photo album. So it's good to go through, and I've seen this stuff before, but it's good to go through it and see it again and know, yeah. And it just solidifies what I have said before about my mom. And I've said it to her, and I've said it on here. My mother was really very smart. She just didn't believe that she was. My mother was capable of doing anything that she put her mind to. She just didn't believe that she could. And that's one of the reasons why I work specifically with women as a coach, because we tend to do that to ourselves. I mean, and men do it too, don't get me wrong. Men do it too, but I'm not a man. So I can't relate to them and why they do it the way that they do it when they do it. But I can relate to, women and why we do what we do when we do it the way we do it. I can relate to that. My mom was, she literally was a phlebotomy tech. And if you don't know what phlebotomy is, that's the person that takes your blood. In simple terms, that's the person that takes your blood. But they also run the actual testing part. They put it in the vials. They put the vials in the little spinners, and they do that stuff. That's another level of the tech. But she was certified to do that. She was licensed to do that. She went to school for that. And while she was in school for that, that's when she found out that we were actually related to a very well-known R&B singer, who I won't mention, but I will say that he's not seen in the best of light. I'll say that much, because of his history with women. Young women. But that's how we found out, because she ended up going to school with his mom. And they got to talking in class and talking about their kids and all that stuff, and then found out that, yeah, your baby daddy is my cousin. So, yeah. But she was really very smart and really capable of doing anything she wanted to do. She just did not believe it. Something in her said that I can't, and she believed it. And I know a lot of it was the voice, or a lot of her I can't were the voices of the parents and the grandparents and the aunts and the uncles and the church members saying, girl, you did this, and so now you can't do that, and girl, you got a baby, so now you can't do that. I know a lot of that I can't mantra that was playing in her head was put there by those around her, which is why we have to surround ourselves with people. We can't change family. Family is family, but we have to be able to filter out some of the crap that they try to feed us and tell us that it's nourishing. We have to be able to do that, because I grew up in the same family that she grew up in. Her parents were my grandparents, and I was around them quite a bit, and my children were around them quite a bit. And I had to make sure that my children understood, and then my grandparents too. I had to make sure that they understood that there's a reason why I don't want my kids hanging as much around you as you would like. There's a reason why, because there's a lot of negativity, and I just can't have that. It's one of the reasons why when my kids say that they don't want to be around my husband, I understand it. Because he can be a very negative person, and this was before he got sick. Like right now, my youngest doesn't want anything to do with him right now because he's such a negative person, and I'm okay with that. My husband can't stand it, but I'm okay with it, because you have to be able to filter out the nastiness, the negativity, and my mom was not able to do that very well. Those voices kept playing in her head. She was, again, 15 when she had me. My dad was 16, and they were both in the church with family members that held positions in the church. And in that day and time, girls didn't get pregnant, and if they did, they went off somewhere and had a baby. They went to go stay with somebody for the summer or for the fall, or whatever the case may be. And when they came back, they didn't have a baby. Well, that wasn't my mom's situation. My grandmother said, no, you're going to stay here. You're going to have this baby, and I'm not going to help you. And I'm sure she said some more things like, you're stupid for getting pregnant, and you're stupid for doing this, and you're stupid for doing that. Because those are some of the same things that she said to me with each of my pregnancies, that I should get rid of it. With each, and this is my grandmother, my mother's mother, so she's telling me that I should get rid of each and every one of my pregnancies. Just imagine what she said to my mom when my mom was 15. Now mind you, I was 19 when I had the first one, 24 when I had the second one, and 28 when I had the third one. And I was fully married to the father of the second and third one at that time. But she still told me I should get rid of my kids. So if this is what she said to me at 19, 24, and 28. 19, 24, and 28. If this is what she said to me, and I was married to the father of my second and third by the time I had my third, just imagine what she said to my mom. My grandfather was extremely negative. He woke up complaining. My husband does that. He wakes up complaining most days. And he did that before he got sick. So with my grandfather being so negative, my grandmother talking down to her, just imagine the voices that she's hearing in her head, even though she knows that she's capable of doing more, which is why she did go to school, which is why she tried to do more for her children, because by the time she finished her phlebotomy certification and licensing, she had 2 children. That's all she ever had, was the 2. She knew she was capable of doing more, which is why she went to school for it. She passed. I mean, I looked at her report card, her final report card, her final grades, and I say report card because I'm thinking grammar school, but her final grades, and she aced that stuff. I mean, I wanted to say something else, but she aced it. I mean, she had A's and B's practically straight through the entire time she was there. My mom was super smart. But when you've got all of this nastiness playing in your head, it's hard for you to get past it sometimes. It's hard for you to filter it out sometimes if you've got nothing pouring into you that's positive. Thankfully, I was able to, let me turn my car off because I need to get inside. It is 27 now. I was able to thankfully move past all of that. And I do still have negative voices in my head, but it's my negative voice. It's not the negative voice of anyone else. I have learned to filter that out tremendously well. So I did not let the negativity of my grandparents or even my mom from time to time. And she wasn't so negative that especially as she got older, she wasn't so negative. She began to realize that what that negativity did to her is what was happening to her children, and she had to figure out a better way to speak. Her downfall was the drugs and alcohol. But as far as negativity is concerned, a lot of that came from my grandparents. But I was able to filter out a lot of the negativity. I was able to filter out a lot of that. And what I didn't filter out, I used as fuel. So I am grateful that I was able to do it. I hate that my mom was not able to do it better. But I say to you, and I guess that's today's word of wisdom, even though it's Friday, I say to you, learn how to filter it out. You've got to. You have to. It's like any other filter. You got a coffee filter. You got a filter in your automobile. The stuff that you don't want gets caught in the filter, and the stuff that you need comes through the filter, and it fuels you. It energizes you. It makes you able to move a little bit better. A coffee filter, if you use truly an old-fashioned coffee filter, the paper coffee filter, you put the grounds in the filter and you pour the water in, the hot water in, and it gets all of the good stuff out of the grounds that you taste every morning when you have your cup of coffee. With an oil filter, you put the oil in the car, and all the stuff that's not supposed to go through the car's system gets caught in that filter, and only the good stuff goes through. You have to learn how to filter out the nastiness and the negativity. You've got to learn how to do that. So it's for your better. It's for your better. If you don't know how to do it, if you want some help with it, you can always reach out to me. I don't typically, well, that's a lie because I have promoted it a lot lately. But you can easily give me a shout out. Go to my website, JuaitanRobinson.com. Click on the Let's Talk button. Schedule a discovery call with me. And we can, in that 30 minutes that we have, figure out if you want to partner with me for the next 8 sessions, the next 8 weeks, so that we can filter out that nastiness and negativity and get you moving in a more positive and beneficial way. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get inside. It is 7:31. I need to be inside. Peace and blessings. Remember to walk in your purpose and know that I appreciate you.